Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of the PokerGO Podcast. My name is Donnie Peters. His name is Tim Duckworth. What's up, buddy?
Not much, buddy.
It is 11:27 p.m. on Saturday, September 6th. Kind of back to WSOP hours. We just wrapped up the first ever PGT Bounty Blitz tournament.
Yeah.
Series, yes, that is true. Tournament series. Thank you for finishing my sentence. I appreciate that. We're going to talk all about it. We got a little bit of a recap here. We wanted to get this one out of the way before we get into PGT Venetian is coming up later this week. After that, in 2 weeks, week and a half or so, it's the Poker Masters. So we got a lot of PGT stuff as we outlined on the last episode of the podcast during the month of September. So we're going to kind of do things after every single series. As always, if you are listening, no matter where you're listening, please give us a favorite, follow the show, leave a review, 5 stars, all that good stuff. If you are watching on YouTube, it's that little thumbs up button below the video. Subscribe to the channel, drop a comment as well. A lot of fun stuff coming in from the last episode when we did the PGT players equals this wrestler. Got a lot of different messages, talking to a lot of different people that we saw in the studio and whatnot. Everyone had their kind of opinions, so that was fun. Couple people, or not couple, one person, one negative review, and it was Matt Savage. The only negative review.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't hear any other negative reviews. Did you?
No.
Exactly. So
he's just a hater.
Sounds like it's a problem with Matt versus a problem with what we're doing here. But the gimmick was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So maybe we'll do those more in our downtime as we try and, we talk about some of the more boring stuff, but spice it up a little bit. Speaking of spicing things up, spice up your poker play today with PlayPokerGO. Head on over to PlayPokerGO.com. Sign up for free online poker. And if you do that before December 10th and play a hand, so sign up and play a hand of free online poker at PlayPokerGO.com before December 10th, then you get entered into a drawing to win a dream seat to come out here to the studio and play in the season-ending PGT $1 Million Championship. That is right, a single hand of free online poker, and you could find yourself playing in a $1 million free roll for a $500K first place prize. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older and a U.S. resident to enter. Full rules and details can be found on PokerGO.com/rules. But again, that is PlayPokerGO.com, or you can download the app to iOS or Android. All right. Let's get into this PGT Bounty Blitz, which I kept writing and talking and saying and whatever. I kept calling it the Bounty Series, and I had to delete stuff and correct myself. I'll probably stumble over my own words a few times throughout this episode, but we'll see if we can get on through. First ever one. I would say that we took a chance to do this series, and we'll talk about some of the results. But first and foremost, Mr. Jeremy Becker, the guy who, at the win a couple days ago, told us he might not play the series.
Doesn't like bounties, no.
Hates bounties, never plays them, doesn't do well on them, so he doesn't like to play them, all that sort of stuff. He comes out here, not only does he play, he final tables not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 of the 6 tournaments. 5. He won the first one. He had a second place in another one. He just finished third in the final event. I mean, the guy absolutely destroyed it. I believe he cashed for around $135,000 to $140,000 total when you include the bounty money that he won. How many points did he finish with?
Picked up 185 points.
185 points for his quest towards qualification for the season-ending PGT $1 Million Championship, which he seems to think he's drawing dead. I don't think he's drawing dead. There are plenty of events left on the schedule. If he's able to just rip off one of the big ones, if he, let's say, wins PGT Venetian or, wins the 5K showcase opener for Poker Masters or even final tables, that could be a couple hundred points or so.
Yeah.
And then he's, right there in the mix of things. There's plenty of stuff at Poker Masters. There's the True Classic Rags to Riches.
Yeah.
There is stuff in Texas if he wants to go down there and gamble on some PLO. NAPT stuff. He was there last year. I would expect him to be there this year. Maybe he's not playing the 50K, but I think the other stuff, he can certainly be in there. I think on this year's NAPT, they have a 12K Quattro. They do. And now that he's Mr. Bounty, I mean, he needs to go in there and just show everyone what's up. So there's that. So he's got plenty of last chance as well. I mean, he's got plenty of stuff.
He's got
absolutely plenty of stuff. So yeah, 5 final tables total, almost $140,000 won. He added 185, 83, whatever the heck it was, PGT leaderboard points. So, I mean, just absolutely on fire as of late is Jeremy Becker. He won the opening event for a total of $55,600. You know, even though the field sizes here, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I'm going to put the commissioner on the hot seat.
Oh God,
not really on the hot seat, but I mean the hot seat, but it's not going to be that hot. Although the field sizes weren't that big, although the prize pools weren't that huge, you know, Becker did enjoy a lot of success, and he really did become the story of the series. Both, you know, people following along. I know that they were, you know, tuning in on the streams. They were talking about it on social media. We were talking about it in various group chats. In the tournament room, you know, they were, you know, busting his balls nonstop about how hot he's running, all this sort of stuff. So Jeremy Becker, very much the story of the series. Do you think, Mr. Commissioner, that a run like this helps Jeremy, you know, build more momentum as like a breakout name on the PGT? Do you even think he's like still a breakout name, or is he fully arrived? Like, what do you think this does for him?
No, I think he has fully arrived. I was chatting the other day, and he is one of the highest volume players, you know.
But that's also why I was surprised that he didn't have, like, he had like 65 points or something.
Yeah,
like,
results just haven't gone his way this season. But like, he has played literally every no limit hold'em event we've run. You know, he doesn't play PLO, doesn't play mix, so he obviously loses opportunities there. So he's definitely not a breakout star. He's definitely been here. He's here, and I think this run, you know, not a lot of points. You know, $100 and something thousand in winnings. I think it gives him a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum going into Venetian, going into Poker Masters, where, you know, he could potentially pick up. Maybe he picks up 400 points with, you know, an assortment of cashes, and now he's, you know, within striking distance of that top 40. He's now one more big cash outside of qualifying. So I think it's pretty good for him is the momentum. You know, if he came here, bricked everything, you know, fired a bunch of bullets and nothing resulted, that confidence would have been kind of, you know, at an all-time low for the PGT events. So maybe we don't see him blasting the Masters, Venetian events, and you know, everything else upcoming. So I think this is good for him. Hopefully the results do go his way. You know, he's bitched and moaned a few times about missing the championship last year and it being my fault. So hopefully we can get him in this year.
I didn't understand that comment. Why was it your fault?
Well, we changed the rules this year.
Is it because of the eligibility thing?
The eligibility thing.
I mean,
he fell short, so.
It wasn't your fault.
I know.
Those were the rules, and some people elected not to show up. So what are you going to do?
But, you know, he likes to blame me on things. He also blamed me why there wasn't a player of the series trophy. You know, why was there
There's not always
money?
A player of the series.
Exactly. Why was there not money for player of the series? So, you know, it's always my fault.
It is always your fault. I do think that if you did, I'm not sure I would have done a player of the series for this one. I would have entertained a like top bounty hunter. So like the person
who's won the most bounties or something.
Either accumulated the most bounties or accumulated the most bounty dollars. I know with the dollars thing, there is a bit more luck involved with the mystery bounty element. But still, you know, either one of those I think could have just been fun, right? Yeah. You know, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a big prize. I would have likened that sort of prize to when you did that chip leader bonus. You know, that was kind of just a fun little thing. So I would have thought something like this. Not that Jeremy would have won it because he didn't earn a single bounty that I saw. I mean, he did, but it didn't seem like he ever won bounties. He was constantly complaining about not getting a ton of bounties.
Bounties did not go in his direction. So, yeah.
Yeah. But overall, Jeremy Becker moves up to 237 points on the season. That puts him in 214th place, which may seem like it's far away from the top 40, but the top 40 right now, 40th place is Ben Lamb, 887. So he's around 650 away from Ben Lamb, So getting into the top 40, which is, people get like the leaderboard winner of Poker Masters is going to get around 650, if not more, right?
Mhm.
Like, that person's going to get between 500 to 1,000, I would say. So, and especially this year, because you added 2 events. Last year was 8 events for Poker Masters. This year, we're going back to 10.
Exactly.
So there's, some additional tournaments to get in there. I think that opener, the showcase, is like right up Jeremy's alley too.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be right in his wheelhouse for the stuff that he excels in. So, I don't think he's drawing dead, even though he might think he's drawing dead. I think he just needs to buckle down and trust the process because, like you said, he is in here grinding all of these events. He clearly has what it takes to compete with these guys who, a lot of these players in here are some of the best players in the world. But Jeremy has proven, I think now the past couple of seasons that he does belong. He's still here. He's showing up. He's having success. So, yeah, just keep at it, man. Just keep at it.
There's also at least 6 opportunities for him to win a dream seat and be fast-tracked in the championship.
There you go.
Giving 1 away at the NAPT. If you finish on top of that leaderboard, 8 events there that qualify for the PGT. And then we're doing 5 for PGT Last Chance. So he could easily just win a PGT Last Chance event and be on the top of the leaderboard that way. So, he has got other methods to get in, as do, everyone else out there. So he can't just give up now with 50 odd events remaining in the season.
And he's some of what Jeremy does, he's just busting balls like we all like to do. So I know he's going to be gunning for it. And I think he's going to get there. Again, I just think that at some point, the variance has to go his way, which I think this series, it really did start to go his way in a lot of spots. He would have had a better result had he won with those aces versus Sergio Ido's kings in the second event of the series at the final table. But, there were other times when we saw him get lucky in spots. So, it goes both ways. But just the volume aspect, we know he's going to be here. He's going to be playing all of our events. I think he's gonna do it. So a couple more results go his way, and Jeremy's gonna be in the top 40, if not knocking on the door. And then come that last chance series, it's gonna be game on. Other winners, we mentioned that Jeremy Becker won the opening event for what was $55,600. And we also had Sergio Ido won the second event for $69,000, or right around there. That's first place prize money plus bounties is what I'm giving you guys. Landon Tice, once Jeremy Becker's enemy, I guess you would say, counterpart. They are kind of buddies now. He won the third event for almost $80,000.
Yeah,
did Landon Tice. Fourth event, Chino Ream won that one. He actually beat Jeremy Becker in heads up play. That was a PKO. How much did he win? 55-ish. 28K first place prize, 37,000 in bounties.
65.
Sorry, my apologies. Jason Hickey, newcomer to the studio, came out here, played all series long, and it finally came home for Jason Hickey in event number 5. That was the mystery bounty. He won first place prize for 50K, and then he took another $47,000 in bounties. Notably, Anthony Marquez, third place in this one for $24,700, but $66K in bounties. $66K. Once again, at a PGT mystery bounty event, the first bounty pulled was the biggest bounty available. Wild stuff. Absolutely wild stuff in that one. And then this final event, it was a standard bounty. Then it was changed to a quattro. Then it was changed again to a mystery bounty. Was won by Sam Laskowitz. He defeated Andrew Lichtenberger, and Jeremy Becker got third in that one. Laskowitz took home, they made a deal, so I have no idea what he took home. They basically chopped up the last 2 bounties.
They chopped the last 2 bounties. It was 25K and a 5K. They did ICM chop for that, then they played out for the rest.
Yeah.
Laskowitz, took home 36,500 for the win, plus 13.6K in bounties.
Sweet.
Not bad.
Awesome. The whole series, minus the last event, the final tables were live streamed on PokerGO and on the PokerGO YouTube channel. So if you missed them, you want to rewatch them, you guys can go find them there. It was fun to see I know it's no limit hold'em, but the bounty element and the different bounty element, I think threw a wrinkle into things for the players. Right away, like in the studio, you could tell a lot of players aren't really familiar with bounties and how to play them. And they were kind of figuring it out as they go. And they were asking a lot of questions and all that sort of stuff. And then, of course, the bounties were changing every single day. Like the first event was just a standard bounty. Every time you knock someone out, you get a 2K bounty. The second one was what, a Quattro? No.
Second one was the Escalator.
So it was 500, then it was 1,000, then it was like 5K.
Yeah.
A little bit over 5K, depending on the stage of the tournament that you were at. Third one was the Quattro. So bounties kicked in when 25% of the field was remaining, and bounties were 4x what they are in a standard bounty. So bounties were 8K there. So that added some bigger bounties at play. You had a PKO as well. We've had PKOs before, but PKO was in play here. You had a mystery bounty as well. So, a lot of different stuff that was going on. It was interesting, again, to see kind of people figure it out, be like, oh, should I call here? There's the bounty. What do I do? The pay jumps are relatively small because the prize pool's got some money taken out to count for the bounty pool. So all that sort of stuff. So yeah, check it out. It's on PokerGO.com. You can also find it on the PokerGO YouTube channel. 5 final tables. They were pretty easy to digest. I think the longest one was around 4 hours, but other than that, they were right around 2 hours each. So kind of in and out for those. So yeah, I think fun series is how I would describe it. It's also good to try something new, but I would also say that it kind of fell short, at least from my expectations. I know you were lower on things than I was, but I'm always higher. You're always lower. If you want to look at averages, the 6 events averaged 46 entries. So I would say, and we didn't top 60 entries for a single event. So, a little bit on the small side for what we're used to.
Yeah, I mean, we've had players wanting to put this on the schedule for a while, and we had to find a spot for it. We knew this wasn't going to be a home run, but we wanted to get it on there and test it out, see what worked, see what didn't. We knew we were going up against, a little bit of EPT Barcelona heading into Try and Jeju. So, we lost a lot of our regulars over there. They're all sitting over there trying to win some Jeju coin right now. But hey, we tried it. I think we will probably do some variation of it again. I think we learned what worked, what doesn't work. And obviously scheduling is always going to be very important. So making sure whenever we do it next, we schedule it in a better time, a better spot to really maximize kind of turnout.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think this was like just a scheduling thing? Do you think that maybe there wasn't enough interest in a bounty series from what we might have thought that there was interest on it? Like, why is it? I mean, or is it just like, no, we just scheduled it. It was up against a lot of stuff, but this is also why we could only run it. Like, is there more to than just the schedule, I guess is what I'm asking?
I think the schedule is the biggest component. I think what we learned from the series was that, some of the bounty formats just are not preferable at this kind of buy-in. So, stuff like the standard knockout and the PKO and even the escalator to an extent, you're taking money out from hand one. While the Quattro, obviously, registration ends, you still no bounties, none of the prize pools being touched. Mystery bounty, same thing. A lot of the talk the last few days was like, hey, if we do this again, just make it a mystery bounty series. That'd be the best format.
I heard that too. The players say that, and I was honestly surprised because I understand the appetite and enthusiasm for the poker playing community to be attracted to mystery bounties, right? You have that lottery aspect, that luck factor, you get to sweat the envelope, like all that sort of stuff. I just thought that like professional poker players, which I think the large majority of the guys in here are, and not only that, but they're like the upper class pro poker players, I just thought that they wouldn't care as much for a mystery bounty format. I thought all these guys would be more PKO than mystery bounty. Like I feel like mystery bounty is more for the common folk because they're playing poker kind of recreationally for fun, and part of that fun is having that gamble element. And what's more gamble than busting someone and pulling an envelope and seeing what you get? Like that's max gamble, right? Yeah. So I was surprised to see so much love for the mystery bounty format specifically. I just thought that the PKO would be something that they all were like, yeah, the PKO is the better one.
Yeah, I think that obviously it has a lot of success in the PLO series. Doesn't correlate to No Limit. And as these guys explain why, it makes a lot of sense. So, we'll definitely make those changes. But, we're going back to, the bounty series. We saw so many people, so many new faces in here on that event 1. We were just like, oh, this could be good. So there's obviously definitely an appetite for a bounty series, knowing that you see someone like, Jason Hickey comes out, plays every event, obviously being that the main finale, event 5. A lot of other people playing events here that are not, we got that Drake Kemper played all 6 events. He doesn't really play in the studio at all, except maybe a Poker Masters, opening event, etc. kind of thing. Even Mike Zulko, who had a good World Series, doesn't often play in here, plays a little bit here and there, but he played, all 6 events. You got Andrew Kelso, always here for the mixed game series.
Yeah.
Never expect him to play anything but mixed games, but he was like out here. He played 4 of the, he played 5 of the 6 events. So
I would say Andrew Ostapchenko.
Yep.
Obviously he's kind of got that new money coming off a huge summer. He's popped into the studio before, but he was here for the full series. John Andres also has popped into the studio before, but he was again here for the full series.
Yep.
So, that's definitely a positive takeaway. The fact that we got some new blood in here, every single day playing. So that was good to see.
Yeah. So, we'll tweak it for 2026 whenever we can fit that in and figure it out. I think we got a lot of positive comments about this little trophy here. Tried something new. This is
I just think it needs to be a little bigger. I think it needs to be like sitting down. I've already told you all this. Sitting down. Like I don't like this little thingy here. But it's still like cool.
Basically, we kind of audibled pretty late because originally it was going to be a treasure chest, and that's the reason we have all these $100 bills, these plaques,
fake 100 plaques,
because they were going to go in the treasure chest, and so you could open the treasure chest and it was filled with hundreds. Right? And we had sized it accordingly. And then
this is what happens, guys, when you put this guy in charge of the budget. Okay. We got treasure chests, we got floating skulls,
these are not expensive. And then we
got plaques with his face on them.
Yeah, why not?
His face. Tim's face.
Cowboy Tim, to be exact. We have Maury, we have Kerry. Once we made this logo, we made the quick change to do something relative to the logo. We had a 3D printer. 3D printing company make these. So they don't really make trophies. Shout out Printer World. But yeah, we didn't really know how to put on a base. We didn't really, the necks obviously, if you can kind of see, is pretty thin. So yeah,
I think they came out all right.
They were not that expensive at all compared to like the gold cups we've given out. They're significantly cheaper. I think they're a little bit more fun. I think a lot of people are like, oh, this is kind of cool. Really want a skull trophy. But yeah, I think that was kind of one of the positives that came out, even though it wasn't perfect, but we put it all together in a couple of weeks to get these. So
overall in the series, I can make arguments that are positive. I can make arguments that are negative. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to straddle the fence. I'm going to give you both sides. And the positive side of me is that I think it's good to try new things. I think it's good to try and innovate, if that's the word here. Not that, having a poker series is necessarily innovative, but innovating in the way of you have a whole series, a higher stakes series dedicated towards bounties and all different kinds of bounties. So, you can't innovate without testing the waters. And I think that this was a good test case here. And if you're going to take steps forward or find things out, I think you have to be willing to take some risks and kind of take leaps of faith, which I think we did here. Which is fine. Also, I think that, being in the booth all week and watching the final tables, the bounty format created a lot of entertaining moments, a lot of fun hands. There was, a bunch of throwaway all-ins at times, like people being like, oh, I'm going to gamble because we have the bounty, all that sort of stuff. In the mystery bounty element, you got the exciting bounty pulls. So, from like a broadcast and an entertainment standpoint, I think that the bounty product, it adds a bit of color to everything. And I think, the viewers that tuned in enjoyed it. It kept things pretty fast-paced overall. There was one final table, the third or fourth one, that was a little bit slower than the other ones. But for the most part, The bounty prizes, I think, drove a lot of the action, which is good. And listen, you're not, I think it's foolish to ever think that you're going to bat 1,000 in anything that you do in life, not just what we do. So expecting that everything is going to be a home run, I think is just wildly silly. You know, sometimes you're going to try something and it's not going to work like you had hoped. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't keep trying new things. And that doesn't mean, you know, this should just be like thrown away because it didn't work one time. Maybe we tinker with it, we bring it back, you know, and we see how it goes the second time around. If we don't see improvement from there, then then maybe you can it and it's just not working. But yeah. And overall, you know, I do think it kind of helps us get back going on the PGT, which I think is a pretty decent thing. You know, it's in a way, it's kind of like the mid-season PGT kickoff. Like the PGT kickoff series isn't exactly like a barn burner right out of the gate when we kick off the season. I mean, it's decent, but you know, it's not a major. It's not, you know, shattering entry records here in the studio, you know, but it's still a good way to start easing in to the series. And with that kickoff, you know, a lot of times you and I talk about how it's trying to get like newer blood into the studio. Hopefully they get a bunch of PGT points and then they continue on throughout the season.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing here. You know, we saw a lot of new faces, which I think is a pretty big positive here. And hopefully some of those players, you know, continue to try and battle on. You know, I look at somebody like Jason Hickey just because he won an event. So he's top of mind. He got, you know, a chunk of PGT points for that. You know, obviously a chunk of money too, almost 100K. So, you know, maybe we see a Jason Hickey take to PGT Venetian, you know, take to Poker Masters. Maybe he's firing some NAPT high roller stuff, you know, and now he's like taking more shots on the PGT in the studio, etc. So yeah, I think that's the positive take. The negative take is, you know, I think that the market speaks loudly at times and you should tend to listen to the market. And I think the message from the market here was pretty clear that they weren't interested in this series. Now, we can debate why they weren't interested. Maybe it was simply they weren't interested because the schedule was jam-packed and they chose to go somewhere else. But that would tell me that, like, okay, this series wasn't big and attractive enough for them to skip whatever they were doing and come to this, right? Yeah. So, you know, that's the negative side of things. So, yeah, overall, I'm happy with it. I do think it was a good enough series that I can say that I think people missed out. Now, maybe they missed out because we had some bad scheduling, and we can hopefully adjust that in the future. But you're also never going to 100% get around scheduling just with so much that's going on in poker these days. So, you know, what are you going to do, right?
Exactly.
I mean, we can't, for this series specifically, you can't really move it up. Somebody might at home right now be like, well, what about August? Trust me, no one wants to touch poker in August, really. Like everyone's over it from the WSOP. Anyway. Yeah, everyone's just kind of over it from the WSOP. Like they're all just like resting and relaxing until it's like you basically you battle for 6 weeks, then you take like 6 weeks off, just chilling. You know, obviously there's some seminal stuff and whatever, but for the most part, people are kind of chilling. And then, you know, right at the end of August, early September comes and it's like, okay, we're back. You know, so yeah, just doing anything in August tends to just flop. Per experience. So yeah. Anything else on the Blitz? Do you like the name?
I like the logo.
The logo's cool.
Name, we threw some stuff around. This seemed to fit most. You know, obviously, if we do a mystery bounty series, maybe it's another name change, but I don't think that's really a problem.
Yeah, I just don't know about a mystery bounty series.
I mean, I think it would work if we time it right. I think it would be good.
I think you also have to have some lower buy, like a 3,300.
I feel like a 3,300 opener and then like some 5s and 10s is the way to do it, to be honest.
Yeah. And so, yeah, maybe that would work. Who the heck knows? Yeah. All right, let's talk on this PGT fantasy quickly, and then we'll get on. We'll get on out of here.
My boys, where were they?
On the where are my boys too? On the last episode, Tim and I did a quick draft between us. We drafted 5 players each for the second half of the PGT season, but there are some, you know, rules and caveats that come with it. You can drop. You have to drop one player after each series. So after the PGT Bounty Blitz, we're going to drop a player right now. After PGT Venetian, we're going to drop a player. After Poker Masters, we're going to drop a player. So you got to drop someone, and you got to pick someone up. Okay, so there's that. Then from the other 4 players, you select 2 that are untouchable, and then we do a swap. From the other 2 players, you can swap 1. So if I say like 2 of my players are untouchable, from the other 2, you can say like, okay, I'm going to swap you this guy for that guy.
Now the untouchables are just for the next series, right? So let's say
the untouchables I'm saying are like right now. Like when we swap, you can't swap with using those 2 players.
Yeah, but then the next time I could switch the untouchables.
Yeah, we can switch them. Yes. So the teams I drafted: Alex Foxen, Jeremy Becker, Nick Schulman, Adam Hendricks, and Michael Wang, of which 2 of those people aren't even on this continent, which is a problem. I have no idea where Nick Schulman is. I know he went.
3 of them are not on this continent.
Okay, well, Alex Foxen and Michael Wang are for sure at Triton.
I think Schulman's there too.
See, I've seen like stuff like updates or social media with Alex Foxen. Same with Michael Wang. I've seen nothing with Schulman. I know Schulman went to Cyprus. I just don't know if he actually then went to Triton. If he did, I just haven't seen any updates or anything, or maybe I just haven't looked as hard, but haven't seen anything. So I don't know if he's there, if he came back, he's just not playing this series. I don't know. I would think that Schulman's like the type of guy where if he was here, I think he would play this anyway. Yeah. So I'm guessing he's there, and I just haven't seen it. Adam Hendricks, I think, came back here.
He texted me saying he was coming back to play the Bounty series, didn't play.
Exactly. So, and I thought he was going to be playing too. He is getting married soon, but I thought this series would fit in his last poker hurrah before he goes and does the whole wedding honeymoon thing. So don't know where the heck he is. So those were my 5. You have Jeremy Osmus, Chino Ream, Sam Soverall, Jesse Lonis, and John Riordan. Now, in terms of attendance at this series, 4 of those guys played.
I crushed it. I crushed attendance.
Osmus played 1 event. Chino Ream played everything. Sam Soverall played a handful. I don't know if it was all of them. Jesse Lonis didn't play. He's at Triton. I believe he's leading. He's chip leader with like 120 left. Of course he is, of the Triton 1. And then John Riordan was here as well. Chino Ream's the only one who did anything.
Yeah.
He won the 1 event, beating Jeremy Becker. Coming out of it, and the scoring system that we were using was just using PGT points. It's just a way for us to talk shit. I joked on the last pod that I would drop Jeremy Becker entering like the PLO stuff. Yeah. He heard it, texted me at like 1 a.m, telling me I was going to drop his ass. He said I lit a fire under his ass, and then he goes and final tables 5 of the 6 events here at PGT Bounty Blitz. So, I mean, we ain't dropping Jeremy Becker, okay? Especially with PGT Venetian coming up. All right, so who are you going to drop? By the way, the points are 185 for me, 74 for you.
Now, we're just drafting for Venetian, right? And then we'll draft for Poker Masters.
Yeah, you're dropping someone to draft for Venetian, the whole Venetian series. So that main event and then the high rollers.
And you're gone.
Anything that counts for whatever.
4 events, yeah. Jesse Lonis.
The PGT.
See you later.
Oh, okay. Jesse Lonis, see you later. Well, who you picking up?
Well, you need to drop someone first, I think.
Okay, you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, I have no idea if I don't even know when Triton ends.
It's still going while Venetian goes.
I mean, I guess I'm dropping Adam Hendricks because I just
okay.
Well, when's his wedding? I have no clue.
I don't know. Okay,
like, can he even play? Can he play Venetian?
Is that official?
Can he play Venetian?
I don't know. Do you want me to call him out right now?
Sure. All right, I'm dropping Adam Hendricks. He's probably gonna somehow play Venetian.
Like, he'll probably win a high roller or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to do the pickups first and then we protect, or do we protect from that current fall?
No. Pick up right now.
Okay. I'm going to pick up.
I'm going to do the.
I got a few names on my list.
You dropped Jesse Lonis?
Correct.
Okay, great. All right, who are you adding?
I'm going to add Michael Burke.
Wow, that's a fucking good one. Jesus Christ, that's a good one.
I had a few names on my list.
That's a really fucking good one. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to add Sam Laskowitz.
Good one. Yeah.
I mean, he said today, I heard him say that he was the best vanilla tournament player in the world, which I couldn't tell if he was serious or not, which I thought was, he meant vanilla because he was like, a lot of them were joking like the whole time, like they didn't really know exactly how to do everything in tournaments, mystery or bounty tournaments. So then he was saying vanilla tournaments, I'm like the best in the world, which I didn't know if he was serious or not. I think he was.
They were all kind of. It was a pretty fun tale. They were all kind of trolling each other.
But then Jeremy Becker was like, like the GOAT basically is right here.
Yeah,
Andrew Lichtenberg.
Yeah, but he's chocolate. I mean, he said he was chocolate.
Well, yeah, but he said he was chocolate, but still, whatever. Anyway. Yeah. All right, so I added Sam Laskowitz. You added Michael Burke. I dropped Adam Hendricks for Laskowitz. You dropped Jesse Lonis for Michael Burke. All right, cool.
Now I got to protect two.
Okay, I'll let you decide on this rule because I didn't put it in the rules, so whatever. Let's say for Poker Masters, are Lonis and Hendricks available again?
But you said you have it there.
What does it say?
They're available for the next series. They have to basically have a series off. So yes, you could.
Where does it say that? Oh, I said immediately.
Yeah, you can't pick them up immediately.
That's fine. So they're back in the pool for Poker Masters. Okay, cool. All right, now you got to tell me your two players that are protected, and then I will possibly switch one of mine for yours.
Well, I'm gonna be. You can't. Yeah, I'm protecting John Riordan and Michael Burke.
No, you can't protect Michael Burke.
That's what I just asked before.
Oh, well, so this is great radio, by the way, but I don't give a shit. Laskowitz and Burke are not eligible for this swap thing.
Oh, okay, fine.
They're safe. Okay, so you got to pick somebody else. So either Osmus, Chino Ream, or Sam Soverall.
Give me Soverall. Soverall Riordan. My protections. Huh?
You're locking up Soverall.
Soverall. I'm protecting Soverall.
Okay.
And Riordan. So
that's like fucking music to my ears.
That's fine.
I'm going to lock up. I mean, I'm locking up fucking Jeremy Becker. Yeah. I mean, he's the GOAT. I mean, I don't even care who I lock up with these other guys. I mean, I'm locking up Nick Schulman.
I would have also dropped Wang and kept Hendricks because at least Hendricks is here and he may play a high roller.
I understand that, but I am thinking that there's a chance. I think there's a greater chance that Michael Wang hops on a plane tomorrow to get back here for something like the PGT Venetian series, as opposed to the guy who is about to get married and didn't even play this series, plays the series.
Excited to play the upcoming Try and Poker Super High Roller series.
I understand. I've seen all the stuff, whatever. I've seen it all.
He's missing half of Poker Masters.
I understand, but these guys are flaky, man. Okay, trust me. They are flaky. All right, who are you going to swap? You don't...
Okay, I don't have to swap, right?
Yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay, so I have to either swap with Alex Foxen, who ain't here, or Michael Wang, who ain't here. And I can't take Laskowitz, so I'm not swapping anybody.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm swapping Alex Foxen for Jeremy Osmus.
Okay. See, like, the thing is with Osmus, he's here, and he was talking to me, he's like, I don't want to travel anymore, I just want to be home. And then he skipped every event but the first one he played.
I bet he saw the numbers and was like, this isn't worth my time.
But, like, I'm wondering, like, is he going to get out of bed for a 3K? That's like, I'm not sure. Is he going to get
100%?
Is he going to get out of 100%. Bed for the 5Ks?
If not, I'm going to his house. I don't know where he lives, but I'm going to find it.
We'll find him.
I'm gonna drag his ass to Venetian.
I've seen him walking. He sometimes walks down the street where I go down and take my kid to school. I've seen him like walking in like his aloe pants and a weight vest with his wife.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So the new teams are: I have Jeremy Osmus, Jeremy Becker, Nick Schulman, Michael Wang, and Sam Laskowitz. You have Alex Foxen, Chino Ream, Sam Soverall, John Riordan, and Michael Burke.
And 101 points. Wait, no.
No, you have 74.
Huh?
You have 74 points.
I'm saying I'm behind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. All right, cool. You got anything else? Because we can just get out of here.
If you don't know, PGT Venetian Las Vegas Classic, $3,300 main event, 3 starting flights starting on Thursday, September 11th. You get a $200 discount if you're on time. Kicks off at 11:10 a.m. on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Get down, play, $1 million guarantee. I'm definitely playing the $380 satellite on the Wednesday night, 5 o'clock. Try and get my seat.
I'm definitely playing the tournament.
You're definitely playing the tournament. If I win my seat, I'm playing 1A, and then I've got to go down to Orange County to beat the Orange County Giants in some Aussie Rules football on day 1B, but whatever. But yeah, come down, play, come support. I think the fact that Venetian is willing to A, put up $1 million guarantee on a new event, B, give players $200 rake discount is absolutely massive. And if, spread the word, get your friends, tell people to come support that, because, if it's successful, they will keep doing a rake discount on these mid-stakes, I guess you can call them mid-stakes tournaments, and they may set a precedent going forward for other casinos to do the same. It's great for players. It gets the event going, gets cards in the air, gets tables filled. So it's definitely a really positive step forward. And the other thing with this event that you brought up today that I completely forgot about, it's 7-handed. You don't really see that often. We hear a lot of complaints about 9-handed and 10-handed play. You don't really see the 10-handed play anymore, but 9-handed's too much. Obviously we play 8 and then play down to 7. They're just 7-handed the entire tournament. So
yeah, I mean, they might go to 8 should they need it, but I don't think that they're going to need it because they have 50 tables there.
Yeah.
That they can use. The streaming room will be one of those tables because they are streaming all the days. So I'm guessing maybe not for the first flight, but I'm guessing for maybe the Friday flight. I would say almost for sure for the Saturday day flight, they're probably going to cancel or delay the cash games for a little bit, like they do. They say, okay, we're going to, the cash games are going to end at 10:30. The tournament's kicking off at 11:10, at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, we'll start opening up some cash game tables again, or however it goes. So we'll see. But 7-handed throughout, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to battle. It's going to be good fun. I would join you in those satellites, but I'm going to Disneyland.
Damn, how rich is this guy?
Not rich at all. Disneyland is a fuck ton of money. It's outrageous. But this has been a long time coming. And so I'm sure we haven't done it in a while, but I'm hoping I'll have a family pot.
I actually have a family pot story.
Oh,
but we'll save it.
Okay,
see what develops from Disneyland, because
something has to develop from Disneyland because it's fucking
related.
Disneyland. I'm gonna have 2 kids running around like maniacs.
I've been telling all my family pot stories to Jim and Antonio out there, but it's related to Disneyland. I think it's pretty funny, but we'll save it for post Venetian pod.
Sweet,
yeah,
I love it. Sweet. All right, cool. He's Tim Duckworth. I'm Donnie Peters, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
See ya.